Hi everyone. Today we are going to see very important class, that is articles regarding education. Okay, so carefully listen this, and each and every article noted here are very important, and this video class is very important for Tnpsc Group 1 as well as UGC NET. Okay, this is especially for education. So uh, this class is a very useful class for those who are preparing for TNBSC and UGC NET. Okay, let us go. Human Rights and RTE Acts. Okay, Right to Education Act. We are going to see the Constitution, that is 86th Amendment Act. Okay, 2002 inserted one article, that is Article 21A in the Constitution of India to provide free and compulsory education of all children in the age group of 6 to 14 years as a fundamental right in such a manner as the state may by law determine. So you have to keep in mind all these things. 86th Amendment Act in the year 2002 inserted one article, that is Article 21A. Okay, what is that in the sense? To provide free and compulsory education of all children in the age group of 6 to 14 years. Okay, as a fundamental right. It's an amendment. It is inserted Article 21A in the year 2002. Okay. Article 21A and the RTE Act came into effect on 1st April 2010. So this also keep in mind when it came into effect, in the sense that is the Article 21A came into effect on 1st April 2010. Okay, the title of the RTE Act incorporates the words free and compulsory. Free and compulsory is incorporated, okay, in the title of Right to Education Act. Okay, the right, that is Right to Education Act provides for the number one, right of children to free and compulsory education till completion of elementary education in a neighborhood school. Okay, this is the first point. And right to education provides, it clarifies that compulsory education means obligation of the appropriate government to provide free elementary education and ensure compulsory admission, attendance and completion of elementary education to every child in 6 to 14 year age group. Free means that no child shall be liable to pay any kind of fee or charges or expenses which may prevent him or her from pursuing and completing elementary education. All these points have in mind, because these points come as assertion and they ask whether this is correct or not. Okay, so just once read and keep in your mind. It makes provisions for a non-admitted child to be admitted to an age-appropriate class. It specifies the duties and responsibilities of appropriate governments, local authority and parents in providing free and compulsory education and sharing of financial and other responsibilities between the central and state governments. Next one. It lays down the norms and standards relating inter alia to people-teacher ratios, buildings and infrastructures, school working days, school teacher working hours. Okay, just note this one also. This lays down the norms and standards relating to alia to the people-teacher ratio. This is very important, as well as buildings and infrastructure, school working days and teacher working hours are also included in this. It provides for rational deployment of teachers by ensuring that the specified people teacher ratio is maintained for each school. rather than just as an average for the state or district or block, thus ensuring that there is no urban-rural imbalance in teacher posting. It also provides for prohibition of deployment of teachers for non-educational work other than denuncial census, elections to local authorities, state legislatures, and parliament and disaster relief. It provides for appointment of appropriately trained teachers, that is, teachers with the requisite entry and academic qualification. And it prohibits physical punishment and mental harassment, screening procedures for admission of the children, capitation fee, private tuitions by teachers, running of schools without recognition. And it provides for development of curriculum in consonance with the values of enshrined in the constitution, and which would ensure all-round development of the child, building on the child's knowledge, potentiality, and talent, and making the child free of fear, trauma, and anxiety through a system of child-friendly and child-centered learning. Okay, so all these are given importance in this. Latin Americans took a leading role in framing the right to education. So here they are the first, they took the first leading role, the right to education, that is Latin Americans. Bellarmino Astrigesilo de Atedi for Brazil provided a keynote to statement on the importance of the value-based education, and was the first to argue that education provides the individual with the wherewithal to develop his personality, which is the aim of human life and the most solid foundation of society. So what this person indicate in the sense to develop his personality, which is the aim of the human life actually. And the most solid foundation of society is only through education. Okay, so each and every one should get a education. So the right to education was led by the Latin Americans. They took the first one. Okay, they took the first step. Now, an Argentine proposal put substance on these abstractions, mimicking Article 12 of the American Declaration of the Rights and Duties of Man. The one-year-old Declaration of Bahata said, every person has a right to an education that will prepare him to lead a decent life, to raise his standard of living, and to be a useful member of society. Yes, this is true. Actually, the education is very, very important for each and every one to bring their life out. Okay. Now, calling for a greater consensus, Mrs. Roosevelt cautioned against a language that would overload the right to education. In this spirit, the framers settled on alternative, simpler language. What is that in the sense? Education shall be directed to the full development of human personality. Exactly, it is true. Exactly, it's a beautiful words given by her. Really, the education brings a very good life to the human beings, as well as it brings a very good development in society. Article 26 in the Constitution of India, 1949. What does article say in the sense? Freedom to manage religious affairs subject to public order, morality and health. Every religious denomination or any selection thereof shall have the right A. To establish and maintain institutions for religious and charitable purposes. B. To manage its own affairs in matters of religion. C. To own and acquire movable and immovable property. And D is to administer such property in accordance with law. This is Article 26. Okay, the Constitution of India 1949, 26. These are there. Okay, the main thing is freedom to manage religious affairs subject to public order, morality and health. Every religious denomination or any section thereof shall have the right. Under this, these four are given. Okay. Now, why is right to education important? The right to education is a human right and indispensable for the exercise of other human rights. Number one, quality education aims to ensure the development of fully rounded human being. Education makes a man. Education transform a human being. Okay, so education is very, very important for a full rounded development of human being. Okay, it is one of the most powerful tools in lifting socially excluded children and adults out of poverty and into society. Okay, and education removes the poverty also. This we are seeing very clearly how India at the time of 1945, okay, 1945 till what we say 1999, the development was not that much. Okay, after development of what the software as well as the engineering, uh, the doctors, okay, doctors and teachers in all the branches of different studies, the people they start getting the education. So the higher education as well as the fundamental education makes the country so rich. Okay, so India is now it's a developing country, but a vast development happens between 2000 to 2020. After this 2 years it's a breakdown, and now again it is getting up. Okay, slowly it is coming up, cope up with all those things. So all these are only by education. Only through education we come across this state. Okay. Now, UNESCO data shows that if all adults completed secondary education globally, the number of poor people could be reduced by more than half. It is true. And it narrows the gender gap for girls and women. A UN study showed that each year of schooling reduces the probability of infant mortality by 5 to 10%. Yes, exactly. Exactly. There are the mortality because the people are educated, in the sense automatically their innocence will bring down and they become more clear in their thoughts. So education is very, very important. For this human right to work, there must be equality of opportunity, universal access, and enforceable and monitored quality standard. What is the current situation? So, what is the current situation? Let us see now. About 258 million children and youth are out of school, according to UIS data. For the school year ending in 2018, how many children are out of school? In the sense 258 million children as well as youth are out of school. Okay, the total includes 59 million children of primary school age, 62 million of lower secondary school age, and 138 million of upper secondary age. Okay, among this this is the division. Okay, so how many children? 59 million children of primary school age, 59. Okay, 62 million of lower secondary school age, and 138 million of upper secondary school age. These school children are out of school. Okay, so make a note of this one. And 155 countries legally guarantee 9 years or more of compulsory education. This you have to note it, and you have to make a note of which year this is. 2018. How many millions of children were out of the school? 258 million children as well as youth. Okay, now only 99 countries legally guarantee at least 12 years of free education. 8.2% of primary school age children does not go to primary school. Okay, see, very pity by seeing all those things. Only 6 in 10 young people will be finishing secondary school in 2030. 2030, only 6 in 10. See, remaining 4 are there. Okay, in 2030. Actually, now it is only 2023. The youth literacy rate is 15 to 24 is of 91.73%, meaning 1 or 2 million youth lack basic literacy skills. Okay, real. It is very pity to see all these statistical analysis, but these are very important for the examination point of view. So make a note of this. Now let us see the articles related to right to education. Okay, so what are those articles in the sense? 21, 21A, Article 39EF, Article 46, Article 45 and Article 41. Let us see one by one, but you have to have in mind, okay, carefully listen. This is Article 21, right to education. Okay, right to education. Article 21A, this easily you can keep in mind, 21A, 21 and 21A. Then 39, articles 39 E and F. Okay, then Article 46, Article 45, these three keep in mind. Okay, this is related, 21, 21A, 39 EF. And if you come here, Article 41, it starts from 41, 45 and 46. Okay, so 6 articles are very important which concern with the right to education. Let us see one by one. According to Article 21, what does Article 21 says in the sense? Protection of life and personal liberty. No person shall be deprived of his life or personal liberty except according to procedure established by law. This fundamental right is available to every person, citizens and foreigners alike. Now, Article 41 in the Constitution of India 1949, 41 says right to work, right to education and right to public assistance in certain cases. The state shall, within the limits of its economic capacity and development, they are not supposed to come out, okay, they have to be within the limit of economic capacity and development, make effective provision for securing the right to work, right to education and right to public assistance in the case of unemployment, old age, sickness and disablement, and in other cases of undeserved want. This is Article 41. Okay, so right to 3 important things are given here: right to work, right to education and to public assistance. Okay, see, let us see the Article 45 in the Constitution of India. Provision for free and compulsory education for children. The state shall endeavour to provide within a period of 10 years from the commencement of this Constitution for free and compulsory education for all children until they complete the age of 14 years. So this is what in the Article 45. Okay, Article 45, what is written there? Provision for free and compulsory education for children, okay, within a which group of 14 years. Okay, until they complete the age of 14 years, they have to give free and compulsory education. Okay, each and every state. Now, Article 46 in the Constitution of India 1949, what this article says in the sense, promotion of educational and economic interest of scheduled caste, scheduled tribes and other weaker section. Okay, this is 46. So, Article 46 is talking about or describing about the reservation. Okay, scheduled caste, scheduled tribes and other weaker section, in the sense the MPC or economically weaker, all those things are coming under this one. So the state promote with special care the educational and economic interest of the weaker section of the people and in particular of the scheduled caste and the scheduled tribes, and shall protect them from social injustice and all forms of exploitation. Okay, this is in Article 46. Article 45 is general, okay, compulsory education, and 46 is for scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, reservation. Okay, and Article 39, E and F are very important for the education. So see this one. See, there are so many are given, but for education, E and F are very important. Okay, that the health and strength of workers, men and women, and the tender age of children are not abused, and that citizens are not forced by economic necessity to enter avocations unsuited to their age or strength. So children should not be abused. That is what given in E. And F, that children are given opportunities and facilities to develop in a healthy manner and in conditions of freedom and dignity, and that childhood and youth are protected against exploitation and against moral and material amendments. Okay, amendment. So all these things are given in the Article 39 and 39, in that E and F. Okay, the children should not be abused, and children should give proper freedom, and they have to get the opportunities and facilities to develop their healthy in the sense, now each and every school is providing food, breakfast as well as lunch they are providing. So the health also taking care, and the government is taking care about their health as well as their studies. Okay, so let us recollect all those things. What is the first point here we are going to recollect is, it guaranteed free and compulsory education at the neighborhood school to children in the age group of 6 to 14 years. This you have to have in mind. Age group 6 to 14 years, compulsory free education. Okay, after that they have to pay and educate. So only this year, that is classes 1 to 8th. 1 to 8th free education. Okay, it applies to all the states except Jammu and Kashmir. Except Jammu and Kashmir, this is applicable to all states. Which one? Compulsory education. The year is 16 to 14 years, classes 1 to 8th. Keep in mind, make a note about this. Next one, see. It was passed by the Parliament on August 6th, 2009. Which one? The compulsory education. Okay, free and compulsory education is passed in the Parliament on August 6th, 2009, but it came into effect on April 1, 2010. Don't forget these dates. Came into effect on April 1, 2010. Okay. Next one, see. With the passage of the Act, India became one of the 135th countries in the world that make education and fundamental rights of every child. Okay, so this point you noted, 135th country or India. Or India is in which rank? 135th country to make the education the fundamental rights of every child. Okay, this is very important. Then next one, see, the Act also provides for 25% reservation in private schools for children from economically weaker sections. So there is another Act is there, that each and every private schools, they have to give 25% reservation for AC/STs. Okay, as well as the weaker section. And it prohibits all unrecognized schools from practice, gives them 3 years to meet basic standards defined under the Act, and makes provisions for no donation or capitalization fee and no interview of the child or parent for admission. This Act prohibits all those things. Okay, it provides that no child shall be held back, expelled, or required to pass a board examination until the completion of elementary education. Okay, so elementary education is very, very important. That is 1 to 8th class. Okay, compulsory education for them is very, very important. This is all about the RTE Act. Next one, see, salient features of Right to Education Act. Constitution of School Management Committee in every school except unaided private recognized schools. Okay, all these rules are imported for all the schools except the unaided private recognized schools. Okay, all those amendments are and articles are for the other schools except unaided private recognized schools. Okay, 75% representation from parent members, 50% representation from women, and representation from SC/STs and disadvantaged groups. Some international organization working for the promotion of education. What are those organizations? Let us see. First one is UNESCO, second one UNICEF, and third one Amnesty International, fourth one the International Labour Organization, and also the World Bank. Okay, all these international organizations are treaties made out hard their efforts to eliminate the problem of poverty. See, in 80s and all, 80s, 60s to 80s and all, India faced what? Poverty. The people are in great poverty, and this was brought out only through the education. Slowly the education makes the expel the poverty from the people. Okay, so although there are many international problems, but to attain them, first we have to accomplish the task of education, and for this it is very crucial that every child must have access to standard quality of education, that is in the primary, and should get a chance of higher and advanced education. Right to education in India. Education is the process of making things learned and acquisitions of knowledge, skills, beliefs and habits, and help to lift those who belongs to socially and economically marginalized from poverty. India is known as the home to 90% of the world's children. What does that mean in the sense? India is a country where the majority of youngsters lived. A majority of the world youngsters are living in India, but it is also true that 1/3 of the world's illiterate population resides in India. This point you make a note. This may be in the examination point of view. 1/3 of the world illiterate populations residing in India. So India has to move forward to bring all those peoples to educate, and India should be a developed country. Okay, we have to make our India as a developed country by making them what? In education, good in education. So education only bring this outside. Okay. It is not like that the rate of literacy has not been increased. It is, but the rate of growth is rapidly very slow in contrast to decline. From 1991 to 2001, the rate was 12.6, but after that it was declined to 9.21. So to tackle these alarming issues, the government of India is introducing the Right to Free and Compulsory Education Act, that is right to education, and making the education as a fundamental right for the children's age group 6 to 14. The Right to Education Act is an act of Parliament proposed on 4th August 2009. This you have to keep in mind, very very important, 4th August 2009, but it comes effect from April 1st 2010. Okay, which shows the highlights that the model of the importance of free and compulsory education to children age group 6 to 14 in India. India has become one of the 135th countries to see. This is recalling, I am recalling it. So make a note and keep in your mind once again also. India has become one of the 135th countries to implement the right to education as a fundamental right, and it is included in the Article 21A to every child. Okay, this act came into force on 1st April 2010. This also make a note. Came into force or came into effect from 1st April 2010. Let us see. Let us recall all those things. Provisions given in the constitutions promoting and strengthening the educational framework of India. Article 28. What this says in the sense, in our constitution, Article 28 provides freedom to attend any religious instructions or religious worships in educational institutions. Education institutions, all things we can. Okay, what is that? Freedom to attend any religious instruction or religious worship in educational institutions. That's why educational institutions are celebrating all the festivals, that is Christmas, Deepavali, and the Muslim festival, whatever it may be. Now we are celebrating in the school itself. So this is under the constitution of this one. Okay, now Article 29. This article gives equality of opportunity in educational institutions. Equality of opportunity in the sense, no caste, no greed, nothing. Okay, each and every one get the opportunity in educational institution. Article 30. 30. See, keep in mind, 28th is religious. Okay, all kind of religious instructions, all kind of religious worships can take place in educational institution. Article 28. Article 29 is equality of opportunity in education. Okay. Article 30. Acknowledge the right of minorities. Minorities in the sense Christian minority, Muslim minority, all this. Okay. To establish and administer educational institutions. So they can establish their own educational institutions. Article 45. So Article 30 is they can establish the minorities their own educational institution and they can administer that. Okay. Article 45. This article mandate the state shall dispense to provide within a period of 10 years from the inception of the constitutions of free and compulsory education for all children of this country until they complete the age of 14 years. The responsibility for providing elementary education lies with the scope and the state government, the central government, the local bodies and the authorities, and voluntary organization or any other government organization. Okay. So Article 45 insists, what it insists in the sense, state shall dispense to provide within a period of 10 years from the inception this constitution for free and compulsory education for all children of this country until they complete the age of 14 years. Okay. Now, Article 46, this already we have seen and once again we will see, talks about the special care for the furtherance of education and economic interest of the scheduled tribes, scheduled caste, OBC and other weaker sections of the society. That is Article 46. Okay, reservation. Article 46 in the sense, reservation in education. Okay. Article 337. This article regulates a special provision with respect to educational grants for the benefits of the Anglo-Indian community. Okay. Grants for the benefit of Anglo-Indian community. Which article? 337. 337 is benefit. Okay. Grants. Education grants for the benefit of Anglo-Indian community. Okay. Next one, see. Article 350B. It provides for grants and offers for linguistic minorities. Okay, linguistics minorities. Provides grants. Okay, which one? 350B. 350B is, so all these are coming under education. So I am giving all those articles. Okay. In education, provides grants and offer the linguistic minorities. Article 351. This article deals with the development and promotion of the Hindi language. Hindi language. Which one? Article 351. Article 351 deals with the development and promotion of Hindi language. Okay. Article 350 is which one? Grants and offers for linguistic minorities. Article 337, Anglo-Indian community. Okay. Educational grants for the benefits of Anglo-Indian community. Article 46 in the sense it is reservation. Okay. So keep in mind Article 46 in the sense reservation in education. So that is very important. OBC as well as weaker section of the society. Okay. Coming to the 86th Constitutional Amendment Act 2002 brings 3 new changes. So amendment in the sense changes in article is called as amendment. Okay, so what amendment they brought in the sense, there are 3 new changes in our constitution for the better functioning and to facilitate a better understanding of the right to free and compulsory education to the children of age group between 6 to 14. Okay, so act cannot be changed, act can be amendment. Okay, so what is the 86th amendment of constitution amendment in the sense 3 changes they brought for the better understanding of the right to free and compulsory education. Okay, so what are those we see? Number 1, 3 changes I told. So number 1, insertion of article, that is 21A. Okay, 21A, that is in part 3 in Constitution, okay, of Indian Constitution, which provides that every child has the right to free and compulsory education of inequitable quality and subject to some norms and standards. Number 2, bring alterations and modifications in Article 45 and substituted as a state shall endeavour to assure early childhood care and free and compulsory education for all children until they complete the age group of 6 years. This is what the Anganwadi is now doing. Okay, so Anganwadi is taking care about the small kids, as well as they are providing the food as well as snacks, everything, and a very good studies are going on in Anganwadi, so people can join their kids in the Anganwadi and make use of it. So up to 6 years. Now adding to a new class K under Article 51A. Okay, what does this says in the sense? 45. Okay, 45 alteration is Anganwadi. Keep in mind Anganwadi. 45 alteration. Okay, 21A is, what is that? Compulsory education. Okay, compulsory, free and compulsory education. This is Article 45 is, the modification is Anganwadi. Okay, under Article 51A, what it tell in the sense, the result of this new fundamental duty is added to which states whoever is a parent or guardian has a duty to furnish opportunities for education to his or his child, or as the case may be, what between the age group of 6 to 14 years. So this is what 51A. Okay, then Shyam Sundar case. Court held that right of a child should not confine only to free and compulsory education, but should be enhanced to have quality education without any discrimination on the basis of their economic, social and cultural background. Okay, this was taken after Shyam Sundar case. Okay, what is that? Right of a child. Free education in the sense, free and compulsory education in the sense, not only the right of a child, but it should be enhanced to have a quality education without any discrimination on the basis of their economic. See, somebody will treat, some schools they treat the poor people and rich people in a different way. That is what this case, and it is giving a clarity that should not be happen. Social as well as cultural background, they caste, the religion, the everything will be come into education. That should not be happen. That is what this case, and there is a change brought out after this case. Okay, right of a child should not confine only a free and compulsory education, but should be enhanced the quality of education, as well as there won't be any discrimination on the basis of their economic, social and cultural background. Okay, this is by 51A after Shyam Sundar case. Let us see judicial approach. The state of Madras v. Srimati Chambakam Thorarajan. Okay, so it's a case. In this case, the Supreme Court gives a landmark judgment. This judgment, what is this judgment in the sense, results in the First Amendment of the Constitution. Here the court held that providing such contradictory reservations was the reason for infringement of Article 29(2) of the Indian Constitution. Court held fundamental rights are sacred and cannot be subject to abridged by any legislative or executive actions or order except provided in Part 3. Directive principles of state policy have to be uniform and should be run on a subsidiary basis related to a fundamental right. However, if there is no infringement or violation of rights confirmed by Part 3 of Indian Constitution, there can be no objection over the state acting in accordance with the directive principles of state policy. The observation of the right to free and compulsory education was put in the case of Mohini Jain in 1992, which famously known as capitation fee case. Okay, so what is that case in the sense? Capitation fee case. So that is Mohini Jain in 1992. This was registered. Okay. See, all these three questions to be observed in this case. Okay. What is that in the sense? Number one, Is there a class of right to education guaranteed to the people of India provided in the Constitution? If so, does the aspect of capitation fee implied in the same? Whether putting of capitation fee in regard to admission to education institutions is arbitrary, unjust and unfair, and such violates the equality clause provided in Article 14 of the Constitution. So, the division bench of the Supreme Court said that the right to life is an essential element for all those rights which the courts must enforce as they are important to the dignified enjoyment of life. The right to education moves directly from the right to life. The right to life provided under Article 21 and the dignity of an individual life is not being achieved unless it is tasked and coupled with the right to education. See, the Supreme Court observed the validity of the verdict given by the court in Mohini Jain in the case of Unnikrishnan. What is that in the sense? The bench of 5 judges by 3-2 majority partially agreed with the Mohini case decision and held that right to education is a fundamental right under Article 21 of the Constitution as it directly flows from right to life. As considered, the court partially overruled the Mohini Jain's decision and observed that the right to free and compulsory education is available only to children until they complete the age of 14 years. After that, the responsibility of the state to provide education is subject to the limits of its economic capacity. Okay, so a beautiful explanation is given. Thus, it is well observed by the decisions of this court that the provision of Part 3 and Part 4 are complementary and supplementary in nature to each other, and fundamental right means to achieve goals inculcated in Part 4 of Indian Constitution. It is also observed that the fundamental rights should be established in the light of directive principles. See, the first step towards the right to education was by Ramurthy Committee report in 1990. Make a note of it. Okay, the first step to right to education, Ramurthy Committee. Previously it was not there. Okay, so who took the first step towards right to education in the sense? Ramurthy Committee report. It is in the year 1990. In 1993, the case of Unnikrishnan JP was a state of Andhra Pradesh. Okay, just we have seen prior. So the others Supreme Courts held that education is a fundamental right flowing from Article 21. Tapas Mujamdar Committee 1999 was set up, which pledged the insertion of Article 21A. Okay, so that is in the amendment. 86th amendment was made in 2002. 2002 there was an amendment. That amendment is right to education, that is free and compulsory education. Okay, it was in Article 21A, and that is in which amendment? 86th amendment was made in the year 2002. Okay, in order to expand basic education facilities, particularly in undeveloped areas, and make education available to every person by giving it freely and mandatory with a focus on elementary education. The 42nd Amendment of Indian Constitution of 1976. Okay, 1976, this amendment was take place. What is that amendment? 42nd Amendment. Okay, what is that? Every person by giving it freely and mandatory with a focus on elementary education. This is 42nd Amendment of Indian Constitution 1976. Thanks for watching and subscribing this channel. Subscribe this channel to get the further videos. This video is also contains so many parts, and these parts links are given in the description box. So use it and share this video to your friends also. Subscribe this video to get the further videos. Okay, thank you so much.